All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Green White Checker TV tonight. We got a little special event going tonight. We've got the Jimmy Crow Senior 200 here at Pocono with the IR18 Indy cars. It's going to be an 80 lap race tonight. So the drivers are making their qualifying laps now. Saying one thing we're going to be doing here as the drivers, once some of the drivers finish up their qualifying laps, we're going to drag a couple of them couple drivers in here so we can have some chats with them. Because I say, for those of you that aren't aware, say Jimmy Crow Senior's definitely been a big part of league racing here with iRacing. With Crow's Nest, I say I was actually one of the first leagues that I was able to kind of get familiar with in iRacing. So when the opportunity came out where they had mentioned about trying to do a race for him, say there's as I was making sure I was going to be able to be a part of it too. So really, really thankful for them to be able to bring the opportunity out to me and be able to be a part of this one. So it's going to be a lot of fun here tonight. Drivers, again, like I said, making their qualifying laps right now. So what we will do, so let me make sure I said one thing I want to be careful of is I don't want to drag anybody out if and when they're making their qualifying laps. So let me take a look here and see. So yeah, so we'll grab our first victim here. There we go. All right, so we're gonna start off. We're gonna bring Jimmy Crow in here and say some of the other drivers making their qualifying laps right now. But yeah, Jimmy, as I was mentioning, say obviously you have way more in-depth details than I do. But say with me getting into iRacing, I say Crow's is one of the first leagues I was kind of familiar with, and definitely a lot of fun to be a part of. I mean, you guys were racing pretty much 7 days a week and more if you could.
Yes, sir. Me and my dad put a lot of time and effort in providing the iRacing community with an awesome place to race. I want to say I love my dad. He's the best dad, and he is the best host ever on iRacing, bar none. No one can convince me otherwise. Um, Always had great guys to race with. He always said he was only as good as the guys that raced with him, and they just he's he's the best. He'd always tell me he was a made man when he got on iRacing, but he took it to a whole nother level with his hosting ability. Yeah, just appreciate everybody putting this on for him. All the guys that chipped in on his computer, Mr. LG Whaley sending him them wheel and pedals, and all the love it went out for him. Like I say, the best dad ever and the best host on iRacing ever. He's an iRacing legend.
Yeah, so definitely no disagreements there on my end. So I'm gonna grab a couple other of the troublemakers who are part of that crow's nest thing with you over here. So say I've got a saying, of course it's like half the admin team it feels like. So say we've got Bud Steele, Jim Brooks, Les Levy, Michael Spell. So I kind of I'd say I kind of wanted to give you guys the floor here because I say you guys will be able to kind of just talk about the experience you've been able to with racing with him and being part of those leagues as well.
Oh, well, I'll go first, I guess. But uh, man, Jimmy Senior, talk about a fanatic and somebody you just got to love for his passion for iRacing and especially these cars. Love the man, and I'll see him soon.
So I don't know if Les, Michael, Jim, if any of you guys want to chime in as well.
Guys, it's Les. I'll just say, boy, I remember a couple years ago when I first started iRacing, ran into senior and junior's room about this time of year. Probably spent the better part of 2 weeks. My wife thought I was nuts running with senior 3, 4, 5 in the morning. Talk about a guy who loved what he did for us. I mean, he didn't run half the races. He put them on for us. He loved to watch us race. He loved this track. He loved these cars. And I think there's so many of us today that run either in Indy cars or NASCAR or Cup cars or whatever that trace our roots back to seniors' rooms. And boy, it just broke my heart when Jimmy told me the news earlier. And I'm still praying that somehow this thing's going to turn for the best. But we will always, always have him in our hearts.
Yeah, similar to you, Les. I mean, I stumbled across senior first shortly after I started racing. I'd been on maybe 6 months or so, and just learned so much racing in his rooms and just so many good memories. I mean, he was all, I don't know when the guy slept, because I mean, he would, as long as he had 4 or 5 guys still ready to race, he'd just keep going and going and going. And, I was talking to Jimmy a little while ago. We never knew what car we were going to be in next, or where we were going to be, or whatever, but it was just a lot of fun. And, I owe him so much, because I learned so much from everything that he did for us and for this sport. It's just incredible. And we love you, Senior, and we miss you, buddy. And I hope the best for you, man.
Yeah, ditto that. That's how I got into iRacing, and it was a lot of fun, and here we are. Get better, Jimmy.
All right, so I appreciate it, guys. I say we'll see, maybe drag some guys up again before we get things going. So Jimmy, I'll get you back with your teammates here as well. So I say we've seen these things, definitely a little bit of a handful though. So good night, good luck tonight here.
And thank you, Area 51, for putting us on. And again, appreciate everybody that's raced with my dad and myself. It really means a lot to me, and I love my dad so much. Thank y'all.
All right, so that's Jimmy Crow Jr. there. I say we'll try to do a quick run here through our start. So on pole position here, we've got the 91 of Robert I'm going to butcher this, I apologize. Robert Maleksa the third, or Malekska, I think it is actually the third. Craig Forsyth in second. We got Matt Wagner third. Gary Corley fourth. Corey Lane in fifth. Paul Jennings sixth. Eric Laurie in seventh. And Krista Nelson in eighth. 9th through 16th here, we've got Nick DeGroot, Travis Turnmeyer, Les Levy, Matt Quick, David Leclerc, Joe Fierro, Charles Teed, AJ Musselman. 17th through 24th, Kevin Fries, Dude Conrad, Bud Steele, James Ledford, Gabe Butler, Victor Santos, Michael Spell, Dean Wilkinson. 25th through 32nd, we got Raymond Rittenauer, Brennan Pastelacqua, Covey Moore, Jim Brooks, Logan Helton, Jimmy Crow Jr., Christopher Matthews, and Joe McAdory. So the pages keep going. 33rd through 36, we've got Robbie Richards, Dave Lane, Dwight Plesh, and Don Runkle Jr. I think that's actually, honestly, this is probably one of the, another way to kind of just to show how much he meant for everybody too, is just the fact that you've got 36 cars here tonight that are able to make this event, and wanted to try to make sure that they could get something set up with that. So again, really want to thank everybody for putting this on, and again letting me be a part of it as well. Like everybody said, I mean, if you were doing some racing and stuff like that, you probably at some point were part of Jimmy's servers and stuff like that, and so that's where I kind of got some of my first starts with league racing and things like that too. So like I said, Jimmy, really appreciate everything you've been doing for us. So I hope we can get you a little bit better here soon. So I'd love to see you either on track or be able to maybe do some admin duties again. But say worst case scenario, I definitely hope you enjoyed tonight's race here. So you got 36 cars, looks like, gonna be taking the grid. Maybe 34. I see Dean Wilkinson, Chris Matthews still in the pits. So I also see the drivers here. They're gonna do an extra pace lap here. So they're gonna do a little bit of a 3-wide salute lap here for Jimmy. So really cool to see them put that on as well. So yeah, just again, I say, like in the chat was saying to Tammy Helton, say how she mentioned love the Crow family. So say it's everybody. It's the racers. It's the people that watch and everything like that. And same Bobby Helton chat mentioning as well too, thanking you, Jimmy Sr., for giving that a young kid, Logan Helton, a chance to learn and improve his talents, encouraging every race, and a great man. And yeah, as he's saying, crow's nest always. So and it's a really great point to make though, because I say Logan Helton's they're telling me stories during practice about him getting into it, being real aggressive early on, and kind of learning from it, and you teaching him what he needed to do and help him get better. And he's been up front. He's one to contend with week in and week out. So you've done a really good job helping some of these young drivers kind of find their way and just make themselves improve that much more. So yeah, so say with that though, say we're going to be getting some good racing here going on. Again, 80 laps of scheduled distance. Fuel window is going to be mid to low 20s, I want to say. And we will have all drivers going to have 3 fast repairs, which will be available for use, as well as potential 3 attempts of a green, white, checkered finish. I think we're going to definitely see those fast repairs in use because it looks like this track and car is going to be a handful for these drivers this evening. So I'll say with that, they're going to come through turn number 3 here. There is no turn number 4 at Pocono. Say again, we're going to see that 91 and the 27 Robert Malekska, the third on the inside row, on 27 of Craig Forsyth on the outside. So we'll see what these drivers are able to do here as we're about to take the break. All right, green flag is out. We are down and away. We even start here so far. Again, the drafting these cars is going to be massive. That's going to be really, I think, where things are going to kick off, is just trying to manage the draft, trying to manage the aero push as well. That's really, I think, going to be the critical thing here. There's also a lot of cars here this evening, so I think we're going to see a lot of early, potential stuff going on. And with that, yeah, we have, looks like a quick yellow early on. Trying to see further in the back, it looks like, yeah, you see, it looks like Robbie Richards may have been involved, may have actually been able to just sneak through. His car actually looks pretty clean here. See a few other drivers, unfortunately, getting caught up in it early. So you see the one of Gabe Butler is in there as well. So unfortunately, kind of a quick caution to start things off here. But yeah, we were mentioning, say, with a bunch of cars and everything like that, it's going to be a good chance to have a quick caution there. And so that's exactly what we ran into here. So let's go back and see what happened here going into turn number 1. Alright, I think yep, there it is. Okay. I'll say it looks like car just got a little low here entering turn number 1. This looks like the 25 of Kevin Freeze. Say nothing malicious, nothing over aggressive, just got a little bit too low entering turn number 1. He's seeing touch that yellow line with these cars. You can't touch apron, just really gets it to step out. So you see, unfortunately, a handful of drivers here getting caught up in this one. You see Jim Brooks just squeaks by there. You see a couple cars caught up in this one. So it's hard to catch the car numbers on a few of these cars, unfortunately. So I'll try to say, we mentioned obviously the 1 was involved as well, 25. I want to say, unfortunately, the 63 Logan Helton may have been caught up in it as well. The few drivers I see in the pits at the moment are the 6 of Bud Steele, Covey Moore, and Logan Helton. So I think those are a few of those drivers. You see Bud Steele actually right there in front of us. So you see, unfortunately, you see a good look of the Crow's Nest paint scheme there for that number 6 of Bud Steele. So yeah, so unfortunately that's going to bring us under caution for the first time tonight. So I mentioned those fast repairs already going to be definitely being put in use. Say a few drivers going to get those fast repairs, probably getting, unfortunately, also going to be trapped a lap or more down. However, again, long race here, so a lot of opportunities to get some laps back. So you can see a lot of the field here. I'm going to go ahead and get that taken care of now. Looks like about 15th on back went ahead and pitted. Pull up our ticker here so everybody can see where their favorite drivers are. So try and take a look here. So drivers in the pits here, looks like the first one out is the 54. I want to say of Travis Turnmeyer. That came out of the pits, and then of course also those that just pitted. You've got James Ledford, Raymond Rittenauer, Joe McAdory, Matt Quick, Dude Conrad, Gabe Butler, Don Ruckle Jr., Dave Lane, and Dwight Plush. Those drivers all in the pits. Actually, I'm sorry. Also looks like Gary Corley, Eric Laurie, and David Leclerc also made pit stops there. So you notice Eric's is a little bit of a longer stop, 17.2. Maybe just trying to get a little bit further back in the pack. Or possibly maybe had to get a manual wing repair, something like that as well. So we'll keep an eye and try to see some of these drivers. As I mentioned, a lot of those drivers that were that had to take a tow, they're still sitting in the pits at the moment, including again the 25 Kevin Freeze, Bud Steele, Covey Moore, and Logan Helton. So hopefully they'll be able to get rolling here and get as the pace cars coming through turn 3 now. Actually, yep, here it goes. I see Logan Helton. He is on the move. So this is going to really be a benefit for him, help him not get trapped a second lap down. That's going to be the hope for some of these other drivers as well. But right now it looks like Logan's going to be the first up. See Bud Steele, he's starting to roll as well. He's going to have to try to hustle here I think he's just going to beat the pace car out of the pits. And that's going to be crucial for him not to get trapped that second lap down. See another big group of drivers going to top off here again, also on this one to go. I think it's just, again, just a lot of strategy call here again early on too. So some might be on the fuel side strategy. Others are going to be just like, hey, I want to get in the back and just ride here early on. Don't want to get risk getting caught up in anything. So yeah, so up front, not too much of a position change here. Somehow, say I'm not even sure how, but a big mover on that early start of the race is the number 5 of Charles Teed in that Valvoline car. He went from 15th to 8th on the initial start there before that caution came out, so pretty much gained about 7 spots just in the pretty much down the front stretch there. So a really good start for that number 5 of Charles Teed here. Alright, so you can see the lights are off on the pace car, so we're about to get things back underway. Again, the big difference on the initial start and the restarts is the initial start is on the green flag, however on this restart also is going to be single file is a big difference, and of course it is on the leader, so that 91 car he can fire off whenever he is ready. I say definitely the big concern though here is going to be the accordion effect on these restarts, because that's really I think that's really where some of the trouble lies on these ones, because again, just everybody's going to be, you got 33 cars here on track, so everybody's going to be trying to stay on tight with each other, and that's where things could really come into play here. Alright, green flag is back out. We are down. Robert gets a pretty good start there. So again, though, that draft's going to bring everybody back into the picture pretty quickly here, but so far it looks like a pretty smooth restart throughout the field. Looks like you saw one just cut the wall. You could hear it even off of turn number 1 there. So he's gonna see if he can hang on to it. So try and see that kind of that pink and see if I can find it here. I think it maybe, yeah, I think it was the 19 of Krista Nelson. Oh, as we got trouble further back, I say a couple cars there going down the backstretch here. Looks like somehow we're still staying green. Looks like the 29 also caught up in that one. Oh, Robbie Richards, yeah. He's trying to keep that car going. You can see the right front suspension broken on that one. So he's going to try to limp it back to the pins. We stayed green, though, somehow. So he's going to have to take a tow here. So he already just did that now. But as they also see the 7 of Gary Corley and the 8 of Dude Conrad, they had to make pit stops here as well under this initial green flag lap. So, yeah, not a great start for some of those guys. Oh, as I said, caution does now come back out. Looks like the 54 Travis Turnmeyer definitely got some damage off of turn number 1. You see the nose cone just kind of hanging off that 54 machine. This is one of the things we talk about where the strategy come into play. If that car is okay other than the nose cone, this would be the time actually to go ahead and try to maybe just do a manual nose cone repair to be able to get back after it. So and just save those fast repairs for later on in this race. So let's take a look here. So you're watching the 54 here. Oh, it's the exact same thing as earlier. See, he just catches the white line there, gets to the inside, and just the difference of banking between the flat and the banking of the track, it's just going to snap that car around. So again, like I mentioned, though, it looks like he hits pretty much square on the nose. So if I'm Travis, if I can, I try to actually save a fast repair and just use a just get a manual nose repair, and not burn that fast repair off. So it was a big break for a few drivers that had to make that early pit stop under that green. Gary Corley's one. He's going to stay on the lead lap here. And I believe, we'll wait and see here. I want to see where the lucky dog's going to go to, because it could wind up being the 8 of Duke Conrad, who had just made his pit stop. I don't know if it was serving a penalty or not. So we'll keep an eye on him, because I think it might be between himself and the 8 and the 63 of Logan Helton. I'm saying right now I'm showing Logan further up on track here, so I think that 63 might get his lap back here. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that. And so that's going to be the benefit of those three fast repairs, is if you get caught up in something, you get a fast repair and get back out and get going again. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on him and see if he's able to get waved around the leaders here. So we'll jump over back to the 91 and see a couple pit fakes here. Some drivers kind of pretending they're going to go in. However, the first one that is going to pit here is that 19 of Kristen Nelson. We saw that little bit of contact early. Not sure if that damaged the car too bad, but guessing this might as well take advantage of this one here and at least check the damage first, and then maybe from there go ahead and use a fast repair. I mentioned the wave around, and yep, sure enough, here goes Logan Helton. He gets his lap back, so he's going to be back in this contention here. Yeah, Tammy, he is still in the race. To say they have the 3 fast repairs this evening, so had to use the one obviously on that first one. So he's still got two remaining here, and also now back on the lead lap. So Logan definitely going to be in contention for this one tonight. So let's say right now showing in the 29th position as the last car in the lead lap, but obviously, as we mentioned with this race, right now only on lap number 8 of 80, so a long ways to go. And we talked about too with everything with Jimmy Seniors. Logan's learned a lot here as he's been going through the iRacing ranks. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him make his way back up towards the front here before this one's over. So right now we still have 29 on the lead lap. We have 3 drivers 1 lap down. Bud Steele, Dude Conrad, and Robbie Richards. And then Kevin Freeze, unfortunately, is trapped 2 laps down. And unfortunately, looks like the 15 of Kobe Moore wound up retiring after that lap 1, turn 1 incident in that number 15 machine. So we'll jump around here and mention a few more of these drivers that have made some pretty big moves here early on. One is that number 20 machine right there. That's Victor Santos. To say he's gone from 22nd to 9th here on this initial couple of laps here. Also right behind him, that 21 of Brandon Pasalacqua. He's gone from 26th to 10th, so really great starts for those guys as well. Again, still really early on. Gonna be a lot of differing pit strategies here for some of these drivers. Let's see a few more drivers here go ahead and do that top off strategy here on the 1 to go. So I'd say there's gonna be a lot of. I think we're gonna see a lot of mixed strategy, especially early on in this race with these quick yellows. Leaders definitely going to want to try to stay it as long as they can. Some of these drivers further back, I mean, at this point, might as well take the gamble. You never know. Let's say if we do get that long green flag run, those leaders are going to have to pit about almost, I'd say just about 10 laps before you, maybe a little bit less than that, maybe 8-9 more laps or something like that. But definitely could change the outcome of this race on just where the track position falls based on pit stop strategy as well. As I saw there, the lights are off of the pace car, so we're going to get things back going here. We're going to restart here on lap number 10. So again, 80 laps is the scheduled distance tonight, so we're going to still have 71 to go once they get things going here. So I'm sure the admins are mentioning to the drivers like, hey, let's get our feet wet, let's get settled in and get things going again here. Yeah, so when you've got 33 plus cars at the track like this, let's say it's easy for these quick ones to happen, and then as things kind of get moving on, things start kind of singling out and kind of getting a little bit more organized. So I'll say again, we'll see here with that 91 car, he is down and away. Again, he had control on that restart. He's made a good start. You see he's got a pretty decent gap over that 27 up Craig Forsyth here as they get things going. For the most part, all these drivers running pretty much single file there on this initial start. Again, the draft in these cars is huge, and say that magic window is usually about a second and a half to 2 seconds. As long as you're in that window, you'll be able to start catching that draft and make your way forward. So that's going to be the next step, is for these guys to make sure they stay in that magic pit window. Oh, unfortunately, as the caution comes back out, it looks like the 88. Oh yeah, Michael Spell, heavy damage to that car. Going to try to see if he can find a way to limp that thing back forward, but it looks like the same thing for him. He's going to have to take a tow here. And so unfortunately, quick yellow again here. Let's see what happened to Michael. even that black and blue car. Oh, looks like, well, as I look like actually initially maybe contact entering turn number 1 between himself and the 50 of David Leclerc. And no, actually, yep, does wind up being contact between himself and the 50. I think David got into that arrow wash of that car in front of him. That car just did not want to rotate, unfortunately. Michael just at the wrong place, wrong time, just gets pretty much stuck up against the wall there. And you can see just broke the right front suspension of that car, so he's just going to, you can see he's trying to get it to drive so he can try to get it back to the pits, but with that updated damage model, these cars just, you're not really able to do that with these guys. So unfortunately, back under caution here. Let's say we're on lap number 11 here. So say while we run under yellow for a little bit here, I'll step away for just a moment, and then we will get things back going in a moment. And I think the lucky dog here this time around is going to go to the number 6 of Bud Steele. Looks like he's the first car one down. So that should put him back onto the lead lap. Unfortunately, it looks like probably, though, at the expense of that 88 of Michael Spell. Alright, so as you can see, the lights are back off of the pace car. So right now it looks like our top 13 drivers have yet to pit during this race. David Leclerc looks like he pitted on the first caution, and then the 19 of Krista Nelson on back pitted at least on the second to most recent caution. And then it looks like, I believe from Logan Helton on back, those drivers all pitted under this most current caution here. Again, as I mentioned, Bud Steele did get the lucky dog, so he is back on the lead lap in that number 6 machine, which is going to give us 28 cars on the lead lap. We still have 3 cars trapped 1 lap down, which are Dude Conrad, Robbie Richards, and Michael Spell. And then Kevin Friesen, 25, still is trapped 2 laps down at the moment. So he's going to hope for a little bit of luck to get himself back into the mix here. a short shoot here between the tunnel turn and turn number 3. Again, it's going to put it back into the hands of that number 91 machine. Say up front, say the top 3 positions have yet to change. They've been run 1, 2, 3 since the beginning of the race. Corey Lane, he's moved from 5th to 4th. Paul Jennings from 5th to 6th. And Nick DeGroot from 9th to 6th. Alright, we are back down and away. Again, looks like a pretty good start there for that 91 car. I say we haven't been able to get a decent green flag run in yet to see what the draft is going to do for these cars. Again, I feel like that's going to be, I think, really the critical part of this race here is to see how these cars are able to run with each other in the draft. So keep an eye on that. So I see a couple drivers here actually hitting the pits as we get to green. May have been pit penalties for them. Not 100% sure, unfortunately. They do include the Logan Hilton, Travis Turnmeyer, and Eric Laurie, so we'll try to keep an eye and see where they get out of the pits from this. But right now everybody is back underway here as they go through turn number 3. And oh, it looks like, unfortunately, looks like caution is back out. See the 50, I think I saw. Yep. Oh, big wreck here. You see the 76 is Jim Brooks. He's upside down. David Leclerc was involved as well. Let's go and see what happened, because I say it's definitely caught a bunch of cars out here. Again, more fast repairs definitely going to be needed to be taken here. Take a look at the 1576. Looks like it may have started between the two of them. We'll take a better look here. So we come off the tunnel turn. Oh, you see the 76 Jim Brooks way too high through here. And see, it actually just winds up washing up, catches the outside wall through the tunnel turn. David Leclerc tries to get low there. Unfortunately, nothing he can do. You see actually another car behind him. He catches the wall of the tunnel turn as well. And I say those two make heavy contact there. Trying to tell which car that is in the back. I think that's the Blue Angels machine. If that's the case, I believe that would be Dwight Plesh in the 44, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it is. You see other drivers having to react to that as well. So you see Jimmy Crow Jr., he had to got a little bit involved in that one, trying to react. See Michael Spells got damage as well, and then just behind the 50 David Leclerc, you got a bunch more cars there. So I'd say a lot of cars damaged in this incident here. Trying to take a look and see which cars those are. So unfortunately, it's a little tricky to catch all the car numbers on a few of them here. However, I say based on some of the drivers that had fast repairs, I think Dave Lane, Dwight Plesh, we mentioned Jim Brooks, Jimmy Crow, as well as the 50 David Leclerc also caught up in that one. So I'll say, unfortunately, they're going to be waiting for a tow here. So I think we're going to definitely see some of the leaders pit here at this point. And as I say that, I am proven wrong, because most of them are going to stay out. So AJ Musselman is going to be the first of the leaders to hit the pits this time. Now we'll take a look to see. So we mentioned those drivers that had to take a penalty there under that green flag pit stop. And I believe, I'm trying to see who's going to get the waiver on. I think it may be Eric Laurie. No, it's not Eric Laurie either. Who's getting that waiver on? Actually, it looks like the 25 of Kevin Freeze. He's going to get the waiver on. He was actually 2 down. So I'll say we talked about drivers needing to have a little bit of luck, and it's going to work out for the 25 car. He's actually going to get one of those laps back, so he's going to go from 2 down here to 1 down, and that's going to be a big break for him, because now he's going to be right in the mix of it with a bunch of these drivers that unfortunately all got trapped a lap down after having to take that tow here. And so we're going to have a pretty big group of cars here that are going to be all 1 lap down or more. Actually, no, I'm sorry, all drivers are going to be 1 lap down. It's going to start off actually from 21st on back. 20th on up are on the lead lap. However, 21st through 30th through 31st are at least 1 lap down, including Eric Laurie, Logan Hilton, Michael Spell, Travis Turnmeyer, Robbie Richards, Jim Brooks, David Leclerc, Jimmy Crow, Dwight Plesh, Kevin Freeze, and Dave Lane. So not what those drivers were looking for here, but this is going to make this extremely competitive here for these drivers to try to be that first car 1 lap down. So yeah, that's going to definitely change, I think, some of the strategies here. And again, like I mentioned, if we do get a longer green flag run in here too, I think that's also going to change the pit strategy as well, because some of these drivers that are going to be trapped a lap down, they'll probably want to stay out as long as possible to see if they can put themselves in a position to be able to be that first car one lap down, or even get their lap back if they are in a position to be able to do so. Say before the race, Jimmy Jr. and I were kind of joking around about this race tonight. So he definitely didn't feel the most comfortable with it, saying that his dad, Jimmy Sr., was definitely the IndyCar specialist on iRacing, whereas he was more on the Cup side with the maybe the closed fenders, if you will, versus the open fenders of these Indy cars. So definitely some differing preferences of style of racing, with Jimmy Sr. being the Indy specialist and Jimmy Jr. being on the Cup side, if you will, of the vehicles. Alright, as you can see, the lights are back off of the pace car, so we're going to give this another try here as they come through the short chute between the tunnel turn and turn number 3. Say right now I'm showing, again, like you mentioned, looks like the top 10 have still yet to make a pit stop. Also in that group is the 62 of Les Levy. He's in 12th. Krista Nelson in the number 19 is in the 11th position, pitted about 7 laps later than the leaders. So we'll have about that much more fuel on that machine, the number 19 car. And Bud Steele, Gabe Butler pitted on a couple laps ago. As we get back underway. So looks like everybody holding pretty steady there in on turn number 1 down the front stretch. So now we'll see how they're able to get through here down the long down straightaway. I say it seems like so far, obviously turn 1's definitely been a trouble turn as well, for sure, as the tunnel turn. Again, I think that's just these drivers with the aero push that these cars have. It's really easy. If you don't have that clean air, these cars really want to wash out. One thing these drivers probably are doing now is making the adjustments to the weight jacker, to the anti-roll bars front and rear, to just try to find a way to get those cars to handle to their liking. So as we come off of turn number 3, see that number 1 car is going to need another lap here. Oh, as I say that, as I mentioned, turn 1 and turn 2 being the trouble pot stops. We have a big wreck there off of turn number 3. So I saw Robbie Richards was caught up in that one. I'm trying to see who else is in there. I see the 54, Travis Turnmeyer. I think the few already went straight to the pits as well. So fortunately, back under yellow here. Let's take a look, because that was a lot of cars that look like again in this one. Looks like it may have started up a little further there with the 071, possibly of Eric Laurie, so we'll try to get a good look here. Actually, it looks like the inside line might be checking up too a little. Oh, yeah, actually, it was actually behind them. So it was right behind the 76. So saying, actually, no, he's caught up in this as well. I think it may have been actually the 29 of Robbie Richards. You see, Jim's checking up. It looks like, I believe that's for the 1, I want to say, in front of him. And then Robbie just has a big head of steam. He catches the back of the 76. The Jim Brooks also catches, I think that was Travis Turnmeyer there that we had mentioned. And it looks like, I think everybody else is able to avoid that one. So I'm trying to take a look here as we watch the drivers come through. Yeah, I see a couple drivers made unintentional pit stops or drive through the pits there just because of the spin there. So unfortunately that's what brought out this most recent caution here. So next question, of course, is going to be who is the first car 1 down. So we're going to. So if we watch the ticker over to the left, that's probably going to give us a pretty good indication of it. And if I'm not mistaken, yeah, I think it's going to be the 63 of Logan Helton who's going to get, once again, actually back onto the lead lap in that number 63 car. So we'll keep an eye and see if he does indeed get the wave around. As long as he wasn't involved, he should be able to get the wave around here. So we'll see a lot of the, it's like, again, a little bit of a mixed bag here. A few drivers pitting here, others staying out. I'll say got, looks like about 3, 4 that are still yet to make their first pit stop. You see Logan Helton, yep, here he goes. He's going to drop a gear and get to the top and get back onto the lead lap once again. However, that number 91 car, the of Robert Malekska, is still leading. He's yet to make a pit stop. Same thing goes for the 99 of Matt Wagner behind him. Then in third, Corey Lane's in that same boat in that number 10 machine. And then in fourth is the number 89 of Nick DeGroot. Same thing, has yet to make a pit stop in this race. And then let's see who is behind him. Bud Steele. So Bud Steele's actually got about 10 laps more since he's pitted about 10 laps ago versus 21 ago for the leaders who have yet to make that pit stop. So definitely still plenty of, a lot more fuel on that car for him. And then also Les Levy right behind him in the 62s yet to make a pit stop as well. And it looks like for the most part from there on back, other than AJ Musselman. So AJ Musselman on back after that, everybody's went ahead and pitted under this most recent caution. So yeah, so again have a pretty mixed bag here. Pretty much the top four have yet to make a pit stop, 6 yet to make a pit stop, and then Bud Steele's pitted about 10 laps ago or so. We talked about that fuel window being that 20, mid to low 20s. Obviously that's of course under green, so the curious part is going to be now is to see how much fuel are these leaders able to save under caution as much as we've been here early on. Because at this point it looks like we've had about 14 laps under caution, so kind of just rough math here, but you almost wonder if they can maybe go into the 30-35 lap range depending on how much fuel they're able to save here, just based on these caution laps. Alright, lights are back off of the pace car. So we haven't gone through a whole field here, so let's kind of, while we've got the one to go poke around just a little bit here. You see the 74 of Paul Jennings. Started 6th, still in the top 10. Right with him there, as well as the number 31 of Joe Fierro. Started 14th, currently 11th. Jump around here to see who maybe haven't had a chance to talk about too much yet. Since they got a lot of drivers here topping off here on that one to go. Haven't mentioned really Raymond Rittenauer yet. He's coming out of the pits right now. He had just made that pit stop on the one to go as well. He's, I think, just again trying to bide his time. Say Raymond's really known for his super speedway prowess in the Sunday series that will be starting up again next week. So we'll definitely keep an eye on Raymond. He's definitely one to work some strategy into his races for sure. And then if I'm not mistaken right now, the first car one down is going to be that number 50 of David Leclerc. So that's again going to be a pretty critical position for him to be in. As I say, should another caution come out, he'd be the one to be the beneficiary of that. So he's going to have to hold off at the moment. The 071 of Eric Laurie, who is looks like a couple cars behind him here. We're going to jump back to the front because we're about to get things back underway. Pace car is off, and the number 91 is down and away. Went a little bit earlier this time, I say, but however, it looks like that 99 of Matt Wagner was ready for it because he did not get a huge gap on him. So as they head down here into turn number 1. Things spread out pretty evenly here up front. So definitely the first little gaggle here, though, right here with Craig Forsyth. Looks like he's got AJ Musselman right there with him. Charles Teed right behind him. Oh, you see one catch the wall there off that tunnel turn. That tunnel turn definitely is biting cars this evening. Trying to catch who it was, so I should be able to calm down the order here a little bit. But so far, still actually looks like it may have been the 44 of Dwight Plesh. And yeah, sure enough, you see Dwight going to take the access road there, trying to limp that car back to the pits here. Also see the 76 of Jim Brooks. He's hitting the pits. These may be those penalties for the 76, at least for his little pit entry where he had to go through the go through there. But however, the field's definitely starting to spread out a little bit. Although, as I say that though, say Charles T, he's definitely in a bit of a fight there. It's close between himself there. Saying I think that was Paul Jennings in the 74 car, and that's opened the door now for that 19 of Krista Nelson. Tries again, if you can see, just washed up a little bit there. It's going to get the damage back to Paul Jennings there. So now these drivers are going to make a big draft down the front and use that toe to see what they can make happen here. Charles T, he jumps to the inside of Paul Jennings, I believe that is. No, I'm sorry, that's Les Needy, so that's going to move him up a spot for the moment. But now, I say if Les wants to, he's going to be able to take another look back inside. You see he does here back entering the tunnel turn. However, though, Charles is going to stay aggressive on the outside, able to make it stick. He does. As I say, things still holding pretty steady up in the front group here. This is one of the better battles on track here. So we got a bunch of cars here, kind of all. Oh, as I say, that big loose there. I don't know. It just snapped on the 74 car on the exit of 3. And we saw that as it happened. Unfortunately, you see Krista got caught up in it as well. Definitely some damage to that machine. So we're going to try to see if you can see. Might be able to actually limp it back right now. It looks like it is rolling. However, that was a big hit there for that number 74 of Paul Jennings. Let's go back and see. He saw it just, it seemed like it just snapped almost instantly there coming out of turn number 3 here. So we saw as it was happening. But yeah, we can see there just kind of that slide, and then just the slide just continues here as he comes off of turn number 3. And then just unfortunately, just right in the path of the field here, you see, unfortunately, as I mentioned, the 19 Krista Nelson gets caught up in that as well. And actually, it looks like it may have just been the 2 of them that really made the contact. Looks like everybody else kind of, for the most part, able to get away with it. It looks like Krista also, though, with some pretty heavy damage to that left front tire. You can see the sparks dragging, the tire just dragging as well. So yeah, just again, just unfortunate. Just wrong place, wrong time for that number 19 car. So they're definitely having a pretty good battle in that group, though. Jump back over to the 74 car. I believe actually 74 car looks like might be either taking a tow or in the pits. Yeah, it's in the pits here. So yeah, I believe the leaders just caught the pace car now, so I think this will be when the pits will open for the leaders here. Say is a break though for a few drivers that were trapped a lap, not trapped a lap down, but maybe had that pit penalty that had to then come right back out. So say just unfortunately some of these drivers not having the nights they were looking for. I think the beneficiary of this is going to be that 50 David Leclerc, because you can see actually David's pretty far up the running order here, about the 7th car it looks like on the queue. So I think we're going to see that 50 get the wave around here. And the question is going to be, depending on who pits and stays out here, they could open the potential for some wave arounds as well. We'll just kind of have to wait and see. Although now that I see that the next eligible car is Eric Laurie, who's a pretty far back there actually. So I think David Clare's going to be the first. And all right, it looks like our leader decided he's going to finally make his first pit stop, which is going to hand the lead over now to the 99 of Matt Wagner. Also Nick DeGroot in the number 89 car. So that's going to leave just 2 drivers here that have yet to make a pit stop in this race. Saying they're already definitely scheduled or past their scheduled pit distance where they would normally have their scheduled stops. As you see, up there goes David Leclerc. He does get his lap back. So that's going to put him back on the lead lap, and say we just keep cycling. We're back again to 20 cars on the lead lap again. Again, a lot of cars though, 1 or more laps down. So I'll say again, that's going to be the next battle for some of these drivers here. So one driver coming out of the pits here, the 4 of Joe McAdory. I don't believe we mentioned Joe yet here. So he's just cycling out of the pits now. So I'm not waiting for the ticker to update. It looks like 17th position is where he's at the moment after that pit stop. The 91 though, I say he was the leader coming into the pit stop cycle. He looks like he's going to cycle out in the 13th position. Looks like we'll be the first of those to make that. First of those that made that pit stop under this last caution. Right behind him, he's got the 10 of Corey Lane, and in front of him, so he's got the 7 of Gary Corley. As the lights are back off of the pace car, you see again a lot of drivers here going to go ahead and top off. Say again, we're still early here. I mean, this is only lap number 29. We're going to restart with 30 on lap number 30, which is going to give us about just 51 to go here. So yeah, say not even halfway through this one yet. So again, this is kind of the nature of the beast with some of these races. When you got bigger car counts, which is great though. I'm really happy to see all these people show up here for Jimmy Seniors for a race for him. But it's just one of those things. Say a few drivers obviously probably either not familiar with each other, maybe not 100% familiar with these cars as well. I definitely recognize some of the Cup regulars running tonight. So. And so you're going to kind of have that kind of mixed situation, and of course with a difficult track with a setup that's maybe a little on the loose tight side as well. Seems like maybe almost a pushing loose for some of the, especially for turn 3. Tunnel turn though definitely seems to be a pushing issue for there, especially in that aero turbulence. If you're not the lead car. We're going to see the pace car duck off here, hand it back over to the 99 now of Matt Wagner. It's got Nick DeGroot and Bud Steele right behind him. Green flag is out, and he is down and away. You can see Nick DeGroot is a great racer. We've definitely not seen anybody right on the tail end of the car like that. As you see, Matt actually tries to throw a little block there as they're about to head into turn number 1. However, Nick's just going to send him just a little bit lower here, so it's like Nick's going to get the lead out of turn number 1 as they go through long pond straightaway. Again, Nick's going to protect the inside line here. I'll say right now, looks like you can see Matt Wagner right on the back of that number 89 machine. They go into the tunnel turn here, back under green. It looks like right now Nick's able to hold onto that spot for the moment, but would not be surprised to see that 99 make another charge here off of turn number 3. Top 2 definitely trying to sneak away here. They've definitely got some really good pace in those cars right now. So probably also pretty nice and light as well. Again, yet to make a pit stop in those 2 machines. And so that might be something that's also kind of something to keep an eye on. You see Matt got really tight there off the wall off of turn number 1. And you see Nick DeGroot, who's definitely trying to break the draft, not let that 99 steal the toe down the straightaways here. So I think we're seeing some strategy calls here. And that's going to be something that I think these drivers are going to be aware of, is to see just see how fast these leaders are with obviously the clean air for one for Nick, but then also the low fuel loads. It seems like these cars are just setting sail right now. I mean, a lot of these laps have been in the yellow, so those tires are probably in really good condition here. But Nick is definitely trying to break the draft here. Oh, we got trouble further in the back. I was going to say, didn't have a yellow come out. We do now. It's like Robbie Richards. Oh, Les Levy, I think, is involved as well. Go and see what happened here. This is through turn number 3. take a look. See David Leclerc there to the outside as well. Yeah, looks like Rebby just starts to get tight there, and yeah, just unfortunately just washes up David. Nothing he can do there. Just gets kind of wrong place, wrong time. And may just be the two of them here. Say it's 50. It's just those two that get caught up in this one. So it's going to bring us back under caution here. As the leader has got to the pace car. And say, so again, we talked about the critical lucky dog position. I think we'll see as I wait until everything cycles through, but I think beneficiary could be that 88 of Michael Spell. I'm going to watch the ticker. We'll watch the ticker on the left that we mentioned earlier. We'll see who's showing as the first car went down. Again, as long as they weren't involved, that's how it goes. And yeah, it looks like 19th position Michael Spell should be the one to get that lap back. So he's just a little bit ahead of Eric Laurie there, as well as Gabe Butler, Kevin Freeze, and David Lane, or Dave Lane, apologies. Alright, I feel like at this point of the race, if I'm the 89, if I'm the 99, you've stayed out so long you don't want to pit, but at some point you're going to have to just commit to a pit stop. So we'll see if Nick and Matt pit this time or not, or if they're just going to run these cars to the absolute just limit of what they have on field. But as they say, that looks like at least for the moment they're going to pit. We'll see if there's any late fakes. Nope, they're both going to hit the pits. So that's going to now have at least everybody make at least one pit stop in this race, which is now going to hand the lead over to the number 6 of Bud Steele here. It's going to move Charles Teed up into second, Craig Forsyth into third. So we'll see if we can get a good angle. As you see, here comes the 88 of Michael Swell. He's going to get his lap back, which will put us back to the 19 cars on the lead lap. Let's see if we can find a pretty good angle here on this number 6 machine. As I said, I'm not finding a great one. Let's see if the helicopter can get us anything, but say it's hard to see those. They say it's definitely got some Crow's Nest sponsors on there. Say nice gesture for that 6 of Bud Steele, like I mentioned. A lot of these drivers, I mean, that are in here tonight. I mean, a lot of them, if not all of them, were at one point a part of that Crow's Nest Racing League that Jimmy Crow Sr. put on. I say myself included. That's why a lot of us just jumped at the opportunity to either be involved in this race, either in the booth or on the track. So again, really want to thank everybody for getting this set up, and again also letting me be a part of it. It's definitely a cool thing to have here. So again, Jimmy Sr., hopefully you're able to catch this. Hope you're enjoying it. Say it again, really nice of everybody to get this set up, get a laptop over to you as well, so you could kind of be able to catch another one of these races. And like we said too, definitely hope to see you be able to get better and get you back out here. Love to see you either back on track or at least kind of behind the scenes running the admin show as well. So, but yeah, so definitely look forward to being able to chat with you again here soon. Alright, so I see 3 drivers on the lead lap. Topping off the one to go, it's going to be James Ledford, Joe McAdory, and Matt Quick. Also see Kevin Freeze, Dwight Plush, Jim Brooks that are a lap or more down, topping off here as well. However, it's going to cycle things again back, like I mentioned, to the 6 of Bud Steele. He's going to be shown as our race leader on this restart. It looks like Matt Wagner is going to fall back to the 10th position after that pit stop cycle. Nick DeGroot in 11th. So we got a pretty mixed strategy right now. So we got Bud Steele, who last pitted 24 laps ago, Charles Teed, Craig Forsyth, Victor Santos, and Brendan Paslacqua and Logan Helton all pitted 15 laps ago. Robert Malekska, Corey Lane, and Krista Nelson, they all pitted 8 laps ago. And then, of course, Matt Wagner on back pitting under this most recent caution now. And then right now, the battle for the Lucky Dog, showing the first car 1 lap down, is going to be right now the one of Gabe Butler. However, he's going to have to hold off, like I mentioned, Dave Lane, Eric Laurie, David Leclerc, and Kevin Freeze. We're hopping on the back here of that number 6 of Bud Steele. We'll be able to hear when that car is going to go. It's going to be with Charles T to try to be ready on point to restart right behind them and keep that keep a good restart. We saw Nick DeGroot stay right on the rear wing of the leader. However, you see Bud Steele gets a good start here. He's going to give himself just a little bit of gap there over that number 5 car as they come down the front stretch here. See him fanning out behind him. That's kind of one of those things that Pocono is just infamous for, is those big fan out restarts. You definitely see him on the cup side of things, especially those double file restarts. They get pretty wild. The single file Indy restarts, it's not quite as crazy. Jump back over to Matt Wagner and Nick DeGroot and say it may not be for the lead, but their battle is going to continue here. This is again right outside the top 10. 10th for Matt, 11th for Nick. Say these two, it looks like are going to be are going to be ones to kind of be reckoned with, I believe, in this race tonight. Gabe Butler, he's going to move over and let these guys by. It looks like, again, right now, Gabe's main competition is going to be that 50 of David Leclerc. That's going to be the position he's going to try to hold up. As it looks like Dave's gotten around Dave Lane. So that 50 car not too far behind, so that one is going to have to kind of keep his foot down here, try to hold on to that Lucky Dog position if and when another caution comes out, because that's going to be critical here. But you can see though, as I said, great hands. Somehow Gabe Butler holds on to that loose car off the tunnel turn. Don't know how he did it, but he is able to hang on to it out. That being said, though, we do have a caution a little further up there. So it looks like the 63 I see involved in there. Logan Helton. I also see one up against the wall. I think that was the 89 actually of Nick DeGroot as well. So I say commentator's curse strikes again here. I was mentioning he might be one to watch here this evening. So unfortunately, he is in the pits. Had to take a tow. Let's go back and see. See Logan Helton here. I think Nick DeGroot, nope, he's actually behind him. So let's go back to Logan Helton. You see Logan, he just touched that yellow line that just got the car to step out on him. You can see he tries to catch it, but then you just kind of get that evil wobble, if you will. You can see the wheels all the way to the right there, trying to hang on to it here, but unfortunately just isn't quite able to. And you can see actually gets it pointed back in the right direction. But then just hooks right back to the right. To check Matt Wagner, he may have lost a little bit of body work as well. Then you see the 89 though, he tries to avoid him and unfortunately just drills the tire barrels there at the pit entry here. So that's going to be where those two got the contact from. And then you see the field here all trying to sneak around here. Looks like they all do a good job of missing it. However, we got to go take a look at Matt Wagner's car. Let's see if his car is missing any quarter panels or anything like that, because it looked like he had just potentially slight contact. But it looks like as a whole, that car's looking pretty clean, so I think he may have just gotten away with it there. Yeah, so this is actually going to work out pretty well for him. Let's say a lot of leaders here are pitting. It's going to cycle through now with Victor Santos in the 20 in the lead. Now the question is going to be who gets the free pass, and it is going to be the 50 of David Leclerc. So again, we kind of joked about how we gain one, we lose one. Say David, who gets his lap back. However, it is at the loss of a spot from the 89 of Nick DeGroot, as you see him coming out of the pits now. is going to get trapped 1 lap down, unfortunately. Again, though, I say we're not quite at the halfway point. I think we're going to restart pretty much right at the halfway mark in this race. So a lot of time for him to try to recover and get back up into this one. Logan Helton was able to get it back to the pits and stay on the lead lap, so that's huge for him. Of course, -1 fast repair, unfortunately, but still in contention here. So we'll look at the pit stop strategies here. So right now, Victor Santos is our race leader. He last pitted 19 laps ago. Behind him, you've got our pole sitter, that number 91, Robert Malekska, the third, and second, Corey Lane in third. They both pitted 12 laps ago. And then Matt Wagner pitted 6 laps ago, is in the fourth position. Joe Fierro's in the same boat, as well as Michael Spell and Gary Corley. So I'll say it actually worked out pretty well for those that pitted under that last caution. They've moved up pretty far here as we get the 1 to go here. So a few drivers here are going to go ahead and top off again on this 1 to go again. I think just everybody's trying to kind of do that mixed strategy. Just try to get off sequence, because again, you never know how these races are going to go. So it's one of those things, usually if you've got a little bit more fuel in your car, that can usually go a pretty long way here. And saying we'll be curious to see now for Victor. He's actually going to be the lightest on fuel of our leaders. We'll see if that little bit of lightness plus the clean air, does that let that 20 set sail on these guys behind him. As you can see, we are on lap number 40, so next time around we'll be halfway in tonight's race. Alright, so you see Victor Santos getting up to the top side. Again, once that pace car peels off the racing surface, that number 20 can get going whenever he is ready. And it looks like he is ready to go, and we are back down and away. And you can see again, already going to try to break that draft of these cars behind him. I'll say that's what you're going to see with these cars, especially later on these runs. You're going to definitely see that it's kind of the snake, if you will, where these drivers definitely try to hold on to that draft of those cars in front. As Victor sends it off into turn number 1, coming down here through the long pond straightaway as he gets straight to the bottom there, trying to again try to break that draft here. Top 3 broke away just a little bit from the 4th place of Matt Wagner. That being said, though, definitely say he's gonna still close enough, definitely to grab back onto that draft here. So I say we're trying to kind of jump around a little bit. As I say, it looks like right now one of the closer battles on track is right here. You got Craig Forsyth right there in front of him. You got Bud Steele, Charles Teeds right there as well. Charles Teed and Bud Steele running side by side down the front stretch here. As I mentioned, we just crossed the halfway point, so we have 39 laps to go now. Right behind that number 7 of Gary Corley as well. It's actually just a little further back, even a little bit more wild, it looks like. You see Nick DeGroot, he's been able to get to the front of this pack here. This is actually, again, this is critical for him. Now he is showing as that first car 1 lap down as things run here. As we said, he's got a lot of pace in that car, so he just needs to keep himself in a good spot here, keep that car clean, and he might be able to benefit from a potential caution as this race continues on. Also just pitted, so he's got plenty of, as I say that, as I saw it spin in the back there, and yeah, that's going to bring up the caution. Trying to catch the car number there. I think that may have been. I see a 6 in there. Yeah, it's a 63 Logan Hilton. I thought I saw a 6 in the number. Not sure what happened to Logan. So it was on the straightaway, so they actually have gotten through. As you can, so we'll go back and take a look. See Logan inside of Raymond Rittenauer. Oh, actually, you know, it's just net code, unfortunately. Just the 87 and 20 and the 63 are near each other, and it acted as if they hit. Oh, you see contact there just behind. Trying to catch the car number there. I think that was actually the 62. Yeah, Les Levy. So it looks like Les actually got away. You saw the tire fall off for a second, and it comes right back on. So Logan goes for a slide. Doesn't look like too hurt though. You see that side pod there kind of flailing on it, and you'll actually see once he gets up to speed here, you're going to see that side pod pop off on that car actually. It's the new damage model with these IR18. So you see he gets up to speed here, and you'll see in just a moment. There goes that side pod popped off that car. So definitely will affect the aero and the handling of that car. But at the same time, as I said, you can see how sketchy the car was. Oh, it actually makes heavy contact with the wall again, and that's just from that aero missing. That's how much it affected that car, unfortunately. So I actually did not see that prior to till right now, unfortunately. So looks like Logan actually had to take a tow because of it. So I'll wait for the leaders here to get all cycled through, catch back up to the pace car. I believe pits will be open this time around. And I'll say Victor Ramos, Victor Santos, apologies. He's on lap 24. I feel like he's not too far from. We've seen leaders go about 30 or so. But we're at 37 to go. Looks like he's gonna stay. Nope, he decided he was gonna pit here. So that's gonna move our pole sitter in that 91 back to the lead. And the car we're going to watch to see if they get back onto the lead lap is going to be this number 89 of Nick DeGroot. As you can see, actually, see a couple drivers here moving to the inside. Let's see here. There he goes. He's just trying to pick his way through there. So sure enough, Nick DeGroot, he's going to get himself back onto the lead lap. And again, we gain one, we lose one, unfortunately. So we're going to gain the 89 back onto the lead lap. However, in the process, we're going to lose the 63 of Logan Helton on the lead lap as he's in the pits. I also have to double check if he has any fast repairs remaining or not. I feel like he might be a little low now on those. I feel like he's had to use a couple of them already. But we'll kind of wait and see what that's going to cycle through as. So with that, we are back again to 19 cars on the lead lap. We've got 4 drivers 1 lap down at the moment, showing Gabe Butler, Eric Laurie, Kevin Freeze, Dave Lane as the 4 that are just 1 down. 2 down at the moment are Les Levy, Dwight Plesh, possibly Logan Helton. We'll see where he cycles through after the tow. And actually, unfortunately, the 76 Jim Brooks is trapped 3 laps down from earlier incidents, as well as I believe a pit stop penalty that he had to serve under green flag. Okay, speaking of Matt Quick, I don't know if I've seen a more colorful car. So we've seen the Grumpy Cat Cup car that he runs on the Sundays with the Cup Super Speedway Cup Series. But as you can see, this one, he's kind of got that color trends going as well there on that number 89 car here tonight. So I almost got the Tetris theme to it the way from looking at it here. But I'd say definitely an easy car to spot on track there. Alright, lights are off and pace car back on the 1 to go. So I'm going to show you guys the battle also though here for the Lucky Dog position. So you see the number 1 of Gabe Butler. He's right behind the 50 of Dave Leclerc, so you can get a better shot here. You'll see him come through the picture right here. So right now he's the first car 1 lap down. However, you see a car right behind him. That's Eric Laurie. He is also 1 lap down. Then the next one in that group is going to be the 25 of Kevin Fries, who is actually just behind the number 89 of Matt Quick that we had mentioned just a moment ago. But only about 3 cars back there, so not too far away from those guys as well. It looks like the 45 of Dave Lane's in the pits though, so he's going to be restarting behind these other guys. That's going to be the battle for to be that first car 1 lap down between that number 1 and the 071 where things stand here at the moment. Pace car is about to duck off here. Gonna again put it back into the hands of our pole sitter here, the number 91. So let's see, that pace car makes a sharp left. Now it's up to that 91 to get going, and he is down and away. Again, looks like gets a nice little gap there over that number 10 of Corey Lane. Doesn't get away too far here, so we'll keep an eye on the start. So you see cars fanning out down the backstretch there as they enter turn number 1 here. So we have 34 to go there as they cross the line. We saw a little bit of a bobble there from David Leclerc off of the tunnel turn, able to hang on to it here. As he is fighting for position here using the 50 and 12th. So he got Brandon Pasalacqua right in front of him. Oh, big wiggle there behind there. I think that was before, yeah, it was Joe McAdory. Somehow hung on to that car. Again, quick hands, was able to wrangle that car, keep it in one, keep it pointing forward, and say kind of almost lived to fight another corner, if you will. But as I say that, oh, we got a car spinning on the outside. I think that was actually it was not Matt Quick. However, David Leclerc was caught up in that one as well. We kind of, unfortunately, say if he doesn't have bad luck, he doesn't, or if it wasn't for bad luck, he wouldn't have any luck at all. It was the 6 of Bud Steele. Bud was up towards the front as well. He's going to try to limp that car back to the pits. Let's go back and see what happened to our 6 machine. I think this incident actually happened a lap before here, or a turn before here, I should say. You see Bud starting to wash up here off of turn number 3. And you can see it looks like just catches the outside. Yeah, you can see just caught the outside wall there with that 6 car. I feel like I saw a little bit of left right front wing intake down. You can see it gets down to the inside, maybe just trying to feel things out a little bit. But I think that damage as he comes into turn number 1 here. Actually, you know, he tries to get off, tries to back it down here, but unfortunately, as we mentioned, the apron, the difference between the banking and the track, it's not good. And so you see Brandon Pasalacqua, he just sneaks on by David Leclerc. Looks like he just about has it cleared, then unfortunately gets caught by that number 6 car. So heavy damage for the 2 of them. Somehow Raymond Rittenauer are able to squeeze through there. So we'll take a look from his point of view on that one. And so we'll go at full speed here as well, because that was definitely a moment there for Raymond as well. So you can see you can't really see it until he gets about mid-turn, and then you see it, and so he has to try to react there. It goes high, then gets back down low, able to avoid the both of them. So definitely a big moment for Raymond Rittenauer, but great job being able to avoid that one. Looks like Bud Steele was able to limp that car to the pits. He's back out and away. He's going to stay on the lead lap as well, so it's a big break for him. Unfortunately, I think that is night over for the 50 of David Leclerc, as it looks like a lot of leaders staying out here under this most recent caution. And I believe Gabe Butler will be the recipient of the lucky dog in that number 1 machine. You see he is still ahead of the 071 of Eric Laurie. So we'll watch and see him move up. Yep, he's moving to the top. He's going to start passing those cars and get back onto the lead lap. But you can say we gain one, we lose one, and say we're gaining Gabe Butler, but unfortunately David Leclerc's had to retire from the event, so he's gonna he falls off of the lead lap, and yeah, just again not the night for that number 50 machine. Alright, so I'll give a quick kind of rundown of drivers, unfortunately, that have retired from the event. David Leclerc, of course, the most recent in the 50. Also earlier retired are Robbie Richards, Paul Jennings, Travis Turnmeyer, Jude Conrad, Don Runkle Jr., and Covey Moore. Drivers one lap down are Eric Laurie, Kevin Freeze, and Dave Lane. Eric Laurie stayed out in the 071. So you see him in that green, that Castrol paint scheme there. I say then the other drivers that are a lap down are the 25 of Kevin Freeze. So you see him a couple cars behind him, and Dave Lane in the 45 right behind him. So right now Eric Laurie's got a couple car buffer between himself and those two that are in contention for that position as well. See James Ledford, Bud Steele, they went ahead and tops off here in the win and go. Also drivers that pitted under that caution. Actually, it looks like for the leaders, just Raymond Rittenauer and Gabe Butler. That being said, though, with 25 to go, this may not be a bad strategy if the caution trends here continue. This might be, honestly, this could be the fuel into where they could make it to the end from here, depending on how these cautions fall or keep falling. Pretty much everybody else in front of them pitted from, looks like Krista Nelson on forward from 12th on up, pitted 13 laps ago or more. So yeah, I mean this could be a pretty good strategy for some of these drivers here that topped off on this under this caution. Where again, as I said, if the trend of yellows continue, they might be in a pretty good position here to be able to stretch it on field the rest of the way. All right, pole sitter still showing the lead here. Pace car's gonna duck off. He's able to drop whenever he's ready. He is down and away. Looks like again a pretty good start for that machine. You see Corey Lane, Matt Wagner going to try to track him down. Also, you see Michael Spell. He's worked his way back up into the top 5 now in the 4th position from the 23rd starting spot. Also getting trapped down, lap down there early on. Due to no fault of his own, just wrong place, wrong time. As these drivers head down now Long Pond straightaway. See a lot of movement here just in front of the leaders, right around 7 of Gary Corley. He's in a little bit of a battle there. So he's got Kristen Nelson behind him, Brent Passer right in front. So a little further forward, I think I just saw Craig Forsyth. Yep, he's jumping to the inside, trying to make a move here on Charles Teed. But again, looks like, oh, you see Craig kind of entered shallow, car washed up, able to gather it back up though. That's going to give Gary Corley that spot, or sorry, Charles Teed that spot. It's also going to bring the 75 of AJ Musselman right into this battle. But again, you see that these drivers off of 3, able to hang on to it there. As you see just a little bit back there with that 89. Oh, as I say that, we got one to the infield, into the pits actually. It's going to be the 25 of Kevin Freeze. We're going to stay green as he went off the racing surface there. Definitely not what he was looking for as this battle continues though. With Charles Teed, Craig Forsyth, and AJ Musselman here for the 6th, 7th, 8th positions. Oh, as I say that, as the contact between the two of them, you see actually somehow Craig's able to keep that car pointing straight. So hopefully everybody's able to see him in time. He's going to try to limp it through here. And say it looks like we might stay green because that car was able to stay pointed in the right direction. I think it was honestly net code between himself and the 5. We saw him get close to the 5, and then the car just kind of ramped off the right rear tire, unfortunately, and so it just put him up into the wall. And so yeah, so we still stay green with that. Great heads up driving by the other drivers here. That 27 Craig Forsyth trying to limp that car to the pits. So he's still trying to get over there. So we'll jump back over to him. You'll see the leaders come right by him. And actually, as they did, it's going to bring the caution out. I think just doesn't have the pace on the inside line. So at this point, he might as well just continue trying to drag that thing to the pits here. As I believe that is the source of the caution. And as I say that, the car finally gave itself up. So he went ahead and had to take a tow there. However, let's go back and see, so you can see exactly what I was talking about there with the contact between himself and the 5. You see as they enter the tunnel turn here, he's right on the back. So try to get a better angle here. There we go. So you'll see he's right on the outside corner of that 5 car. You see the 5 slide just a little bit. He gets to the outside, and then you'll see the delay. Yeah, you see just how much net code there was there between the two of them. They were close initially, and it's really good avoidance there by the 75 AJ Musselman. Then just, again, also great hands for Craig Forsyth, able to keep that car pointing in the right direction. You see he had a couple of close calls right there. Gabe Butler, a really close call for him. And so you can see though he kept the car moving forward, and then just tried to limp it back to the pits. But I think by the time the leaders got to him, it just the pace was too slow. That's what bred out the yellow, unfortunately for him. All right, so we mentioned the cautions potentially affecting the strategy of this race here. We'll see. Again, I think at this point the leaders probably feel pretty confident that they can make it to the end. You can see a lot of leaders are coming in here. So I'm suspecting if I'm some of those drivers that topped off on that 1 to go or pit under that last yellow, I stay out here. But actually we have one driver that decided to stay out. That's going to be the 99 of Matt Wagner. And actually he's going to have one of his competitors there, Nick DeGroot, going to restart right behind him here, who also stayed out, as well as the 7089 of Matt Quick. Those are going to be our top 3. As you can see, Matt moving up there as they block in our lucky dog there of Eric Glory. He's going to get his lap back, which will put him back onto the lead lap. And double check here. So I want to now find the 27. I'll say Craig Forsyth actually still sitting in the pits there. So as we mentioned before, you gain one, you lose one. It seems like it's been kind of the story of the night. So we gain Eric Laurie, and unfortunately now we've lost the 27 to Craig Forsyth to the lead lap as well. Which now actually we only have one car a lap down after this one, which is that 45 of Dave Lane. So next caution would actually then put him back on the lead lap. And we actually have a good number of cars now 2 laps down, which include Logan Helton, Les Levy, Dwight Plush, and it looks like Craig Forsyth is able to get back on track, showing us 2 laps down. And unfortunately, Jim Brooks in the 76 still trapped those 3 down. However, up front though, we've got Matt Wagner. He last pitted 24 laps ago. Nick DeGroot 13 laps ago. Matt Quick 13 laps ago. So I'd say without a doubt that number 99 cannot make it to the end. The 89 and the 70, 89, I'm a little skeptical of them being able to stretch it to the end. Just again, it's going to really depend on how the cautions fall, how many and how frequently. As actually, as saying, good call here. If I think I saw correctly, here comes the 45 Dave Lane. He's going to hit the pits there. Although I don't know if he pitted the first time. So for those that aren't aware with iRacing, they do this track, any track 2 miles and larger. Michigan Auto Club Speedway, Daytona, Talladega, the new iRacing Speedway, and Pocono, and the road courses. The way they caution, they're quick cautions. So basically, the first time the pits are open, everybody can pit. Lap down, lead lap, doesn't matter. However, if you don't pit the first time and you try to pit the second time around the pits are actually closed, and so I believe you get a penalty for entering a closed pit, which I believe may be a stop and hold, not just like an end of the longest line or something like that. So I'm a little worried about Dave Lane, that he may get a stop and hold penalty in that 45 car as he pitted this time. I'm not sure he pitted the time before, however. So if we see the 45 duck in the pits, we'll know why, unfortunately. All right, so up front we've got Matt Wagner, Nick DeGroot, Matt Quick. Those are our top 3. And then we've got Bud Steele, Raymond Rittenauer. Again, those 2 drivers pitted the caution before. And then from there on back, in 6th on back, you've got, again, Robert Malekska, Corey Lane, Michael Spell, Joe Fierro, Charles Teed. They all pitted on this most recent caution. I for sure would say from 6th on back, they can make it to the end from here. It's going to be a little tighter for Bud and Matt. Just depends on the cautions. And I'm curious to see about Matt Quick, Nick DeGroot, to see what they can do. Matt Wagner, I feel like I think he has no choice. He's going to have to pit again at some point before this race is over. All right, pace car is in. He's going to hand it over to that number 99 of Matt Wagner as he drops the gear and he is down and away. This time does get a little bit better start over that number 89. Is able to separate the distance between the 2 of them there. That last time when those 2 were 1-2 in the restart, we saw Nick was all over that 99 car. This time though, Matt was definitely ready to go on that one. A little further back, we got a battle for Bud Steele and Matt Quick here. Say Matt's on the outside, Bud's on the inside. We're about to hit the tunnel turn. This is definitely a tricky spot to run 2x2, so we'll see how they do. Looks like Matt's going to be able to hold off that spot for the moment. And you see the rest of the field there behind, definitely starting to gaggle up just a little bit behind him. Okay, Joe Fierro right there in the mix in that number 31 car. He has got to his outside the 88 of Michael Spell. But I saw one driver just jump to the pit. Actually, our second place driver, he pits now. Curious to see what the strategy is on that one. I don't think it was a penalty because he did not stay out, or he did not pit into that last yellow. So maybe just trying an alternate strategy. So we'll have to wait and see him in the car, see if he gets back out on track or not. So we're a little curious on that one. We'll wait and see. However, though, that's really allowed Matt Wagner to just kind of set sail here. He's got about a 3-second lead over Matt Quick and Bud Steele. So kind of between a rock and a hard place, though, really. So if you're Matt Wagner, you're loving this big lead you have, but at the same time, you know you can't make it to the end. I still see the 89 sitting in the pit. So unfortunately, not what Nick DeGroot was looking for. I also see Eric Laurie. He's hitting the pits here as well. So I'm curious what the strategy is. I say here comes the 89 coming out of the pits now of Nick DeGroot. It was a 30-second pit stop though, so I'm not sure what happened to him there. Maybe it may have been something from earlier, maybe a pit penalty he just had yet to serve. Might be a similar situation for Eric Laurie as well. I'm not 100% sure. However, he sees Matt Quick's been able to separate himself a little bit, though, from Bud Steele here. Not by a lot. Oh, as I saw just a little bit about Corey Lane, I think that. No, actually, it was not Corey Lane. I think it was actually the 91 car really close to the wall there off of turn number 3. And, oh, I'm sorry, no, I'm wrong again. It's actually Logan Helton here. He is, again, he's 2 laps down, but that car, he's showing the pace he has. I think what Logan's trying to do here is see if he can get himself up to the lead. maybe get kind of the old-fashioned lead lap back where he can maybe be in front of the leaders when the time a caution comes out, especially if we get a caution, a timely caution with the when everything goes on up front here. But the next question is, if you're that 99 of Matt Quick, or Matt Wagner, apologies, he's increased his lead to 4 seconds now over Matt Quick. What strategy do you do here? Do you maybe pit once your window is open, which I believe again has already been done? Because again, he's on lap number 30 here, so I'm just curious to see what he thinks is going to be his best approach here. That car is probably nice and light on fuel right now, but again, I mean, he's got a huge gap. See, over 4 seconds, 4.5 seconds almost now, over that 47.89 of Matt Quick there. But again, though, he's going to have to make a pit stop. He's on lap number 30 of this run here. So I'll try to keep an eye on him and see if and when he does decide to drop into the pits. Matt Quick also in a similar boat. He's gone. This will be lap number 20 since his last pit stop. So again, I think right now Catbird C on the fuel mileage as things run is going to be that number 91 machine, the number 10 of Corey Lane, Michael Spell, and the 88. I believe they're in the best positions here fuel-wise. Should this race, depending on how this race cycles through here. So with those unscheduled pit stops right now, 2 drivers that are 1 lap down are Dave Lane in the 45 and Eric Laurie in the 071. And actually, yes, now that I mention it, and actually, as I said, I was just talking about it, here comes Matt Wagner. He's going to make that pit stop now, coming to 16 to go, which is going to now cycle the lead over to the 789 of Matt Quick. Also see a few others here actually surprisingly hitting Bud Steele, Raymond Rittenauer. They're going to hit the pits as well here. So, Matt Quick definitely a little bit tight there through turns 1. But he's got about a 1.5 second gap right now over that number 91 of Robert Malekska. Again, Matt Quick, I think he's going to also be in that same position where he's going to need to make a pit stop before this race is over. And I'm curious now. I say we'll wait and see. I say we got a long ways to go until the next set of drivers need to pit, because they've only pitted about 10 laps to go. And we can go about, I think they said low to mid 20s on the fuel window. Oh, it's not going to come to fruition. I saw a car spin off of turn number 3. It looks like it's the 20 of Victor Santos. You got cars. Oh no! As I was about to say, he gets back to the speed. There's a car right behind him. He's completely blinded. Oh, and it's actually the 45 of Dave Lane, who was going to be the car that was in position to get that lucky dog too. So unfortunately, I think that's going to take him out of contention, which I believe will actually move it over to Eric Laurie in that 071. So let's take a look first what happened to bring out the caution, and we'll take a look afterwards to see that contact after between the two after the fact. So you see Victor here on the inside. Looks like he's actually trying to break the draft there of Brandon Pasalaco behind him. But let's see, oh, he just touched that yellow line, and then say that's pretty much all she wrote for that one. And see Victor, yeah, just spins it to the inside here. So it looked like it was going to be a no harm, no foul situation here as he just spins it, gets it turned back around here. But we're going to jump over to the onboard here at speed for Dave Lane, and you can see just, yeah. So we'll go back one more time just so you can see. So at this point, say we're still under green flag conditions. And you see the green light's still on the wall to the outside. Now the caution's out. And you see he's rolling out of the gas, and so he doesn't realize that the car's there, and you see the car in front of him just jumps out last second, and just Dave has no time to react there, unfortunately. Just awful luck, really. It's honestly the only thing you could say about that one for Dave Lane there, unfortunately. So Victor Santos, he is in the pits. He actually stays on the lead lap, it looks like, so that's going to be a big break for him. In that number 20 machine, we'll jump over to him. You see him in the pits getting that service done. You see the fast repair taking effect. And so now what I see is Eric Laurie, if he is indeed our benefactor of this caution. And if that's the case, that'll give us, everybody who's 1 lap down, that'll give them all a lap back, or they'll all be back on the lead lap, which would then make The drivers 2 laps down or more, the only drivers laps down, starting with Logan Hilton in that 63. So we'll watch this number 071, but I actually also want to see for pit strategy if anybody's other leaders are going to pit. And actually, no. Matt Quick, he stays out here. Again, I don't think he can make it to the end. I'm very skeptical about this strategy. I don't think he has the fuel to get to the end, but I think at this point, it's one of those you've made your bed, you gotta lie in it. So we'll keep an eye there. Now, where is our Eric Laurie? Did he actually get his? Yep, there he comes. All right. So you see 070. You see he slows down. Okay, yep, he's going to it. So that's gonna put Eric Laurie back onto the lead lap in that 071 machine. Hopefully this time Matt is aware and doesn't block him like he did the previous time. And I joke about that because they're actually teammates as well. As you see that 071, he's going to sneak on by, make sure he's got a clear path in front of him. And there he goes. So that's going to put him back onto the lead lap again. Going to be 18 cars now on the lead lap. And so we're going to take a look at our ticker on the left. And actually right now it's showing as Craig Forsyth is the first car 2 laps down now in that number 27 machine. So we'll see who's the next one in line. It looked like it was Logan Hilton earlier, but I think Logan had just pitted, so he might have fallen back now from that group. So I'll say we'll see where we got. We got Craig there in 19th, and 20th is still Logan Hilton. So let's look at the gap between the two of them here. So you see Craig there. Actually, I can see Logan. He's right behind him. They're in the 20th position, and then the next in line is going to be Les Levy, who's just a couple cars behind, and then the 44 of Dwight Plesh. And so this lucky dog will be extremely critical actually for these leaders, because whoever gets this lucky dog this time is going to pretty much will be kind of unopposed, if you will, to get the next one. So that's going to be a pretty important one. Should we get another caution here, as we're going to restart with 11 laps to go in this event. Alright, so our race leader is that 7089 of Matt Quick. Say, for me at least, I got concerns on fuel. We'll see what he can do. He might be banking on some more quick yellows here to kind of help his cushion out. Again, I'm sure he's been saving a ton of fuel. He's kind of Mr. Fuel Save in the Super Speedway Cup Series, so I'll be curious to see what he's able to do here. Behind him, he's got our pole sitter, that number 91 of Robert Melexka III. You got Corey Lane, Michael Spella, and Brendan Pasalacqua. Matt Wagner had a pit under green. He is back to 13th position, so he's going to have some work to do to try to get himself back up into the contention here tonight. All right, pace car is in. Wait for that 789 again. He has control of this restart, and he is down and away. You see a couple cars starting to dart out a little bit, try to be ready to react there. That looks like a pretty clean restart here. However, you see a lot of, actually I see a couple fenders flying off some cars there. So there was some contact further in the back there on this restart. However, we do stay green. I'll say affecting the cars, and actually it does. We have a caution already, and I believe the car that was affected is that number 99 of Matt Wagner. And say we've been talking about how he's been in contention so many races. Just it seems like week after week, just something happens to him here. So let's go and see what happened on this restart to that number 99 machine. See him there on the outside line there. Again, this is kind of the accordion effect, if you will, too, you kind of run into here, these tracks. So you can see him start dicing around a little bit. He moves to the inside to avoid any contact. Oh, he gets hit from behind. I believe that is the 6-foot steel, I want to say, that got him. And I believe that was, we mentioned the body part that came off the car. I think that was exactly who it was from. And so that's just going to completely destroy the aero of that car. And you can, yeah, you can see as soon as he tries to enter the turn, the car just loops around on him. Nothing he can do there. Just a passenger, unfortunately. So he's going to try to limp this thing to the pits, which it looks like he will be able to do. 6-foot steel looks like he's going to have to do the same. You see his right front tires just completely destroyed on that machine as well. So he's going to limp that thing around as well. As you see Matt Wagner, looks like his car is going to be able to make it back out as well. And you can see they're actually making sure that they don't pit. They don't want to pit before the pits are open because they don't want to get any penalties here. So we mentioned the potential of those quick cautions, that would be what Matt Wagner or Matt Quick was looking for. And that's exactly what he's going to get here. So he's going to have just those couple less laps here. He's going to, again, be able to save fuel under caution and might be able to make something happen here. So so now, again, we talked about the cautions as well. Who would get that, be the first car one down when the caution count. You see right now Craig Forsyth's in that position. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, we'll see that 27 get the wave around here. And what's going to help him is the fact that he'll then be the only car one lap down, and he'll be able to get the second wave around should we get another caution, putting him again back onto the lead lap. And yeah, Maxine, you're exactly right. I'll say it's really cool to see a lot of these guys just still, I'll say, not having the nights they're looking for, but just still hanging in there. It's really easy to retire from these races when things don't go your way, but a lot of these drivers that are trapped a lap or more down, sticking with it. And, so that's definitely something I really like to see with these drivers. To may not be having the race they want to have, but they'll still stick it out to the end here. All right, we saw the 27. He went ahead and got that wave around, so he's going to be one lap down now, the only car one lap down. Bud Steele, Matt Wagner, that are both in the pits getting service to their machines here. You see the 99s in, you see the 6 already down and away, got that car repaired. There goes the 99. Alright, so lights should go off on pace car this time by, which will give us a restart with 7 laps to go. So say we're 9 to go here. Next time by is going to be 8 to go. And so yeah, so we'll be restarting this race with 7 laps to go. The only thing that could throw a wrench into plans for some of these drivers that may be trying to pull some strategy on the fuel side of things is the potential of the up to 3 attempts of a green-white checkered finish. So you might have enough fuel to make it to the checkered, but there's a potential you may not have enough fuel to make it those extra green-white checkered attempts. So that's going to have to be something that's on the back of these drivers' minds here as well. Alright, so our top 3, Matt Quick, Robert Malekska the third, Corey Lane, Corey Lane top 3, Michael Spell, Brandon Paslock was the top 5. And you got 6th through 10th, you've got Krista Nelson, AJ Musselman, Joe Fierro, Charles Teed, and Joe McAdory. So definitely be keeping an eye on those drivers here. So the one thing that Matt's going to have for him, we saw a little earlier, is that car's going to be a little lighter on fuel than those behind him. And we definitely saw that earlier on one of those earlier restarts where the clean air plus the lighter fuel loads, these cars they seem like they're just able to sneak away here. So we're going to have to keep an eye out see if Matt's able to do that. He's going to need to get a really solid restart here. I mean, he's just lugging that car around, just trying to save every drop of fuel he can. Wants to be able to try to get this thing to the end, of course. And we'll see. Believe we won't be in green-white checkered territory yet. After a couple laps, though, we'll definitely be potentially in that window. So it's going to be curious to see how this one pans out. We can see this field starting to stack up here. Everybody's getting ready. I say again, you're going to see definitely some more aggressive restarts here from the leaders. Just want to try to get everything they can. You'll definitely see drivers trying to break this draft as well. Matt is down and away. Again, you see a little bit of movement in the back, trying to make sure they don't get into the back of each other. However, though, that leader, our pulser, I should say, the 91, he gets a good restart. He's going to jump to the outside of that number 79 of Matt Quick. Matt's going to see if he can hold strong on the inside line. So we'll see short run versus momentum on the top right now. They hold pretty even down the long pond straightaway. He just got nose ahead, and as soon as he did, he tried to cut down to make sure he could have the entry there. Definitely threw off Matt's approach. Oh, we got contact in the back, though. We're back under yellow. I saw the 4 Joe McAdory. He got caught up in it. So trying to tell who that car is with him there. It's the 31, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Joe Fierro. Those two are caught up in it. So definitely not what they were looking for. Joe's going to try to limp that thing back here. So again, I'd say I don't think we're going to be in green white checker territory yet, but definitely going to be starting to definitely get close to that point now. See that car on the outside line. That's who we're looking at there, Joe Fierro, as he enters the tunnel turn on the outside. And I think just, yeah, you see the outside just doesn't have the grip there, and he's going to, unfortunately, looks like catch the outside wall. And then I believe that number 4, Joe McAdory, just wrong place, wrong time, as he's going to bounce across the track. And yeah, just contact between the two of them, and heavy hits for both of them into the inside safer barrier there. I believe, though, so we'll watch and see. I think for the most part, everybody's able to just sneak by there. Eric Laurie somehow found his way through. Oh, Matt Wagner maybe caught a little bit of that one. The car actually looks like it got through unscathed. Let's go take a look from Matt Wagner's perspective there, though, because that was definitely close for him. Watch him get up to speed here, about to enter the tunnel turn. See the contact in front of him. At this point, you got to figure out where you need to go, and sometimes you just got to stay up to speed. And you see Matt make that little bit of that juke to the right there to get close to the wall. That may have been just enough to save that car from getting additional contact there. So hopefully he's able to get by it. No harm, no foul to that number 99 machine. However, though, as we mentioned, still back under yellow here. And it looks like as our pulsator is back out into the lead, Corey Lane's also able to get by. He's going to now be up into second position. Matt Quick falls back to third. So at this point, I think Matt's probably feeling pretty good about fuel here. And then I believe what we'll see here is that 27. Yep, here he comes, Craig Forsyth. That is going to get him back onto the lead lap. His C drivers kind of move around there, probably making Craig a little nervous there. But yeah, so that's going to move Craig now back onto the lead lap. But last time we said we'd lose one, we gain one. This time we're losing 2 and gaining 1. Looks like Joe Fierro, Joe McAdory both in the pits there. So it's going to give us 17 cars back onto the lead lap. So we'll see how many we have 2 or more down. It looks like right now I showed Joe McAdory as 1 down. So we'll see. Hopefully he's able to get that car serviced and underway here before he gets that second lap down. Because again, that'll be a huge benefit for him. Similar goes here as well for that number 31 of Joe Fierro. And actually, yeah, Joe's down and away, so this is going to be a big break for the both of them. And so you see Joe, he's getting going, as is the number 4, Joe McAdory. So actually, unfortunately, the contact between the two of them, they're going to be the battle for the next Lucky Dog position, because they're both going to just be the 1 lap down here. So we're going to be, let's see, we're 5 to go here. So we're going to restart this race with 3 to go, which will again just be right outside the green-white checker scenario here. So however, if we get a crash or a caution, I should say, before the white flag comes out, then we will get into that green-white checker territory. However, if there's an incident on the white flag, there is no caution. They race back to the finish. So we'll see what happens, if the race is going to end on the completion of lap number 80, or are we going to stretch this thing out? Might even get all the way to potentially like a lap number 90 or something like that, should we get the full 3 green, white, checkered attempts. Alright, so that last restart, we saw that 91. He got a good restart behind the 789 of Matt Quick. He was able to hold on to him and then get that run entering turn number 1 and complete the pass through the through Long Pond straightaway into the tunnel turn. So now Corey Lane, he's gonna see what that 91 was able to do. He's gonna want to do the same in his car, and say the same thing's gonna go for Matt Quick, Michael Spell, Brandon Pasalacqua. They're gonna try to get really solid restarts here to try to see if they can make something happen. But again, I think we're going to start seeing a lot more defensive driving from some of these drivers, especially up front, as momentum is pretty much everything with these cars. As if you're that lead car like that 91 is, you're going to be the one that's going to kind of break the air, or that's just going to give those cars behind you a pretty big tow on you. So it's going to be interesting to see. I feel at this point, everybody could probably make him feel Matt Quick still might be a little bit tight, but I think he's been able to save enough at this point to make it to the end. But I mean, at this point, when your bed's made, you're gonna lane it. So if you're Matt Quick, you're just gonna do what you can here and try to see if you can kind of get either a top 3 or a better finish in this one. Alright, we're gonna hop on the back of our race leader, also the pole sitter tonight. And you see everybody's starting to get staggered out a little bit. Just be ready to go as soon as he goes. And say again, you're going to see quick movement as soon as he does go. And see a great start for the number 91. Is able to get a couple of car lengths lead right away off of Corey Lane. That's going to be exactly what he was looking for in this restart. As you can see again, they start to try to break the draft here. So we'll say right now those top 3 just separated just enough here. However, again, Corey Lane, he's gonna get a good run here off the back, or off of turn number 1 down the tunnel, or down the Long Pond straightaway, I should say. He just have to make sure he follows that draft of that number 91 here. A little further back, you see the 88 Michael Spell. He's been able to grab the 3rd spot, and as I say that, it looks like we have another caution come out. Looks like Eric Laurie is caught up in this. Oh, he's definitely caught up in this one. He's stuck up against the wall. That is going to bring the caution back out. So this is going to put us into that green-white checker territory that we had mentioned. Also looks like Raymond Rittenauer may have been caught up in this one as well. Let's go back and take a look. You see Eric Laurie there right behind. And so they actually may have started in front of him with Raymond Rittenauer. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, you see Raymond, he catches the apron there, and at that point, there's just nothing he can do. You see the car just slides, and Eric Laurie just nowhere to go. Heavy contact between the two of them. So again, wow, amazing job avoiding that one by Matt Wagner, able to get to the kind of slides there to avoid it. And you see on the inside, you see Craig Forsyth having to do a little bit of bounce in there in that 27 car. See if he was able to actually hang on to it. So that car actually almost went up into the outside wall, just able to hang on to it there. So big moment for a lot of drivers there. As we mentioned, Craig Forsyth just had gotten back onto the lead lap. Unfortunately, it looks like Raymond Rittenauer has retired from the event. Eric Laurie, of course, had to tow due to being kind of stuck up there, nowhere he was going to be able to go. So that's going to put us back under caution here. And again, this is going to be the first attempt now of a green-white checkered finish. We have up to 3 attempts. So we'll have to wait and see what the strategy is going to be. I'll say again, the driver I'm a little bit worried about is Matt Quick. Does he have enough fuel in that 789? And you see, yeah, he's going to have to pit here. So that was a little bit of my concern. Looks like a couple other drivers having to follow suit as well. Gabe Butler, I see, also following him in as well. However, the rest of the field here looks like they're going to stay out. We saw Michael Spell in the 88. He's able to move up into that 3rd position here. So he's going to be in a pretty good spot here. Say we saw Corey Lane not have the start he was hoping to that 91. So he's going to have to try to get a little bit better restart this next time around. As here comes that number 31 of Joe Fierro. He's going to get his lap back. So he was able to stay in front of that number 4 of Joe McAdory. So he'll put himself back onto the lead lap again. So it's going to give us now 16 cars on the lead lap, as unfortunately the 87 has retired, and then that 071, of course, getting caught up in that incident. Definitely a mixed bag of drivers here up front. So you got first and second right now, started first and fifth. Then if you look from third and fourth, started 23rd and 26th respectively. And then fifth and sixth started in 16th and 15th respectively. So pretty big mixed bag of where drivers started in this event. They were able to either stay up front or make their way to the front. Definitely been a lot of mixed pit strategies for these drivers as well. So I say right now our pole sitter's gotten back to the front here. Had the restart he was hoping for, I think, the last time around. However, he's going to have to try to do it one more time, at least one more time here, I should say. As I mentioned, this is going to put us into that green-white checkered territory as we are already on. We're actually on lap number 80 now, so normally this would be the final lap of the race. However, we got 3 attempts to get it done. So what's going to happen here is on any of these restarts, if they make it to the white flag, they race to the finish. However, if a caution comes out before they get to the start finish line to get to the 1 to go, they'll stop, they'll rack them up, and they'll do it again up to 3 attempts. However, on that 3rd attempt, if a caution comes out before the white flag, the race will end under yellow and the field will be frozen at the time of that caution. Alright, so we're about to come through the tunnel turn, and we'll let these guys back loose again. Again, this is attempt number 1 of up to 3 of the green-white checkered finishes. So our pole sitter still Robert Malekska the third in the lead, Corey Lane in second, Michael Spill in third, Brandon Pastelacco fourth, AJ Musselman in fifth. So say Corey's going to need to try to be a little quicker. Maybe he actually might even have to try to anticipate the start a little bit here. On that number 91 and try to stay right on that rear wing and try to see if he can make something happen. Because I say it's just that's going to be, I think, the differing factor between these two drivers here. Alright, looking on the top roll bar of the 10 of Corey Lane, you see he gets right behind and saying there he goes again. Another great restart for number 91. Started separating himself from that number 10 car, Corey Lane. Oh, actually, as I said, we have a big wreck in the back here, so this is gonna be attempt number 2 right off the bat. So trying to catch who's all caught up in this one. You see, yeah, Bud Steele is one of those involved. I think the 7 I see as well, Gary Corley. I think also the 44, I believe, of Dwight Plesh. Yep, Dwight's got caught up in this one as well. So, unfortunately, I say quick yellow there again. I think that's just product of these green white checker finishes. Everybody wants to get aggressive and get going as quick as possible, and unfortunately just someone got caught up in the wrong place at the wrong time. Try to catch to see where it all happened at. Alright, I was able to find it. So we got kind of had that accordion effect here. You can see how some of these drivers will say right now I'm kind of going slowly. You see the they stop, they go, and so you see Victor Santos, he backs off of it, And then you see that behind they're trying to react to it, but unfortunately 7 had a pretty big head of steam there before they got to him. And so unfortunately those two kind of just get hooked together here. And you see Matt Quick, he tries to go to the or sorry, Bud Steele, he tries to go inside. Winds up getting into it. Again, Matt Wagner finds a way to sneak around that one. And so I'll say those are the 3 cars you see there involved. The Bud Steele, and I believe you're going to see here in just a moment, say the 44 Dwight Plush. I know he got caught up in it too. Oh, actually, it looks like he got caught up in it from behind afterwards. So you can see the caution coming out and say, oh yeah, so unfortunately he gets hit from behind. You see the 63 try to get on the brakes in time, just wasn't quite able to do it. And then unfortunately also catches the 76 at Jim Brooks as well. So all these drivers here getting caught up in this incident here. Unfortunately for them. So I think there was, I believe, just one driver, one down, which is Joe McAdory. So I want to say he's going to get the wave around here. And yep, sure enough, here he goes. I believe to get that lap back. Keep an eye on him here. And so yeah, unfortunately that last caution that took out a number of drivers here. Say we're down to now 15 on to the lead lap after that last incident. I'll say, however, up front, say still situation's the same for these leaders here. We got the same group up front, those top 3, the 91, the 10, and the 88. So the only question you have now is if any of these drivers maybe short pitted on fuel, maybe didn't fill this thing all the way up. Are any of these drivers up front, do they have enough fuel to go these extra green, white checkered attempts? I mean, we saw, I want to say it was in the 30 range is about the most that some of these drivers are able to do. So it could be pretty tight on fuel. It will be interesting to see on that one. But right now, say pretty much everybody in this top 7 all pitted 27-28 laps ago. James Ledford in 8th pitted about 11 laps after them. And then you got Craig Forsyth, who pitted about 9 laps ago when he got those lucky dogs. And then Matt Quick, Gabe Butler, who pitted under that last caution. So that's, yeah, we'll have to wait and see, because that could really come into play as well. Say if they get to the point where these cars sputter, and let's say we get to that white flag and these things sputter. Again, this is going to be attempt number 2, so if we get one more attempt, or if we get to the point where we need one more attempt here, these drivers are going to be going over 10 laps past the scheduled distance of this race. Actually, so you see everybody's kind of forming up here. So I think what's actually happened is I think we may have hit the time limit of this race. So you see it's showing final lap here on the ticker. So I think what's gone on here is we've actually run into the time limit. Say we're going to kind of just have like a little, like a kind of a little quick restart finish thing here to the end. So I don't think, well, I don't think it should change anything. But no, I'm beyond confused what's going on right now. I apologize, everybody. You see, I saw another wreck in the back here. So we stay green. So this might, I think this is actually just a white flag finish, or basically, so yeah, just a white checker here. So we never got to that third green-white checker. So I'm a little lost as to what went on there. However, though, right now, it's showing that we are on our final lap. Because again, right now, that number 91 is leading the way. Coming through turn number 3, just needs to get through this one clean. He's going to get the win, it looks like. So Robert Malexka going to get the win over Corey Lane. And then in the third position is going to be AJ Musselman in his 75 cars. It looks like my ticket decided to break on me too here. So let me try to get that all cleared up here. So give me just a moment, so we'll get everything squared away here. Maybe try to figure out what happened on those that last section there. So I'm a little confused about that one. However, it looks like the top 3 going to be that number 91, the 10, and the 75 going to be our top 3 finishers for tonight's event. Again, say Logan Helton Senior 200 here at Pocono. Wound up being a little bit more than 200 with those green-white checkered attempts. And yeah, as always, to say again, really want to thank everybody for setting this up. Say again, as always, I'll say definitely where everybody's thinking of you, Jimmy. Hope to try to see you and have a chat with you again here anytime soon. But yeah, I say I just definitely want to make sure you know that everybody's thinking of you. So what we will do is, before we start pulling people up, we'll go ahead and go through our results now. So getting the win is that number 91 of Robert Malexka. Corey Lane second, AJ Musselman in third, Brendan Pasalacqua fourth, Charles Teed fifth, Krista Nelson in sixth, Gabe Butler seventh, Matt Quick eighth, Joe Fierro ninth, and James Ledford rounds out our top 10. 11 through 23, we've got Joe McAdory, Bud Steele, Michael Spill, Craig Forsyth, Logan Helton, Matt Wagner, Les Levy, Jim Brooks, Dave Lane, and Gary Corley. 21st through 30th, we got Victor Santos, Dwight Plush, Eric Laurie, Raymond Rittenauer, Nick DeGroot, Kevin Fries, David Leclerc, Robbie Richards, Paul Jennings, and Travis Turnmeyer. And then we got Jimmy Jr. there, Jimmy Crow, Dude Conrad, Don Uncle Jr., Kobe Moore, Dean Wilkinson, and Chris Matthews. So I will try to do and see if I can find some guys to see if we can have a word with at the end. Say, not catching any of our top 3 here actually. So give me one moment and we will we'll get things settled up here. All right, so went over what we think is the final results. There was this kind of crazy finish where it looked like it was actually going to finish under yellow, then they went back to green, and so it was kind of a wild one there at the end. But I'll say like we said, Jimmy. I mean, we got 36 drivers that showed up tonight for this one. It's again, I mean, it just shows, I mean, how many people have had a impact with your dad and everything like that. It's really cool to see everybody show up for it. Obviously, not the night that a lot of drivers were hoping to have turn out for this one, but again, still a really nice event that everybody was able to put on for your dad. But so I definitely wanted to let you have a chance if you wanted to have any words though after the race though tonight.
Oh, like my dad would always say, it's on the drivers. Hey, it's racing. It happens. You know, I used to beat myself up if I had two cautions in a race, but he never let cautions get him down. And I appreciate all the regulars that came out. You know, the Gay Butlers, Les Levy, the Michael Spell, Jim Brooks, Bud Steele, Dwight, James Ledford, Dude Conrad, all of them. If I missed anybody, Dwight Plesh, everybody, Logan, all the regulars that came out and for this race, and much appreciated. Appreciate Area 51 putting it on, and like I said, we're just still real thankful, and we're just appreciated that someone would put an event on for my dad. We put on events for people, and it felt real good, and you know those were his guys. They raced with him hours on end, 7 days a week, and much appreciated. And I love my dad, and he will always be the best host on iRacing, bar none. Go on YouTube, type in Crow's Nest, you'll see 400, 500 videos of him laying the bricks to what a successful hosted room or hosted anything on iRacing is today. And much appreciated to everybody.
Yeah, yeah, it's exactly the same thoughts as on my end. The same like we had talked about at the beginning, where like you said, pretty much. I mean, if you've been involved in iRacing, you've done hosted races or league sessions, like you've probably done a race with your dad, because it's like he was there everywhere. So it was always a lot of fun to be able to catch one of his events, either through Cronus official league race or just a hosted session that he'd like to put on just to have some fun, you know.
Oh yeah, the hosted rooms is what made us, and then came the league. Another thing, and I'm not tooting his horn or minding his horn, and it's nothing against money races and the craze now going on in iRacing is the money race. But before the money race craze, that man and myself, due to the fact of the drivers that raced with us, everything we got was from the drivers that raced with us. But we could fill a 43 car event for free with no money on the line because of the drivers that raced with us, and we take a lot of pride in that.
Yeah, no, yeah, and that's exactly that's how I feel the same way too. It's like if you can just get the right group of guys, and it's like you guys just you want to race and you just want to have fun and be with the people, the camaraderie and all that. And I mean that's when it boils down to it, like just racing and motorsports in general. It's like that's usually kind of the general theme of things. I mean that's kind of my favorite thing is just go out and race with people you enjoy racing with that you can trust and run wheel to wheel with, and see if things happen, they happen, and then just kind of regroup and go back after. It's always been a lot of fun to be able to be a part of that with you guys.
Oh yes, sir. And like my dad always said, all the veterans that are active and that have served, we've always appreciated them racing with us, and always race each other clean and with respect.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So yeah, Jimmy, I would say really again, I really appreciate you being here for this one. So I know it's obviously your heart's definitely I'm sure all over the place with everything, but definitely wanted to let you know that everybody's here. We're here. We're thinking of you guys and your family, and yeah, yeah we hope for the best for all of you guys.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all so much. Thank you, Gail, for calling the race. Like I say, appreciate everybody. The whole Crow family appreciates everybody. All the guys, like I say, all the guys that's ever raced with my dad and myself, uh, we appreciate them. Like I say, I love my dad, and like I said, best host on iRacing.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Jimmy. So that'll be it for tonight, though. So yeah, hope you guys were able to enjoy it. So it was definitely a wild one here tonight at Pocono. But say as always, though, before we go, definitely want to again give the Crow family our best, and say and Jimmy, as you know, we're all thinking about you. We all love you, and to say just try to take care, and we'll hopefully have future chats with you soon here, man.
Oh yes, sir. Again, thank you to Area 51, Green White Checkered, all the fans that watch, and like I say, all the drivers that's ever raced with us. We wouldn't be getting this love if it wasn't for the guys that raced with us, and so much appreciated.